23rd of September, it's a Saturday, 15 minutes to 1 p.m. in the afternoon here in Australia. Here's my latest video blog. I've got a couple of videos I'm going to do separately, probably going to do them in a row, but this particular video is just going to cover just a little bit on the charts, what's been going on in China and all the FUD, and the reality is we're just going through a bit of a pullback, a correction, a bit of a sell-off, and I think all of the news and the FUD was just, I think, a little bit of a distraction, or done on purpose to suppress the price of Bitcoin as a whole and bring it down a little bit further. And you know, there's probably a little bit of collusion, and I have mentioned that in the previous videos, just to, I suppose, slow down the market. That was one of the big things I've sort of noticed, is the market's moving very, very rapidly, and since we've had China being pulled back, or the government's pretty much slowed down the impact of Chinese money into the market, which gives the big boys a bit more time to get involved and to ensure that the normal financial markets aren't affected as much. And I think, you know, it's one of those realities that they're struggling to slow all of this down. They're trying to control it, and they are doing it quite well through the media, and some influential people like Demon from JP Morgan, and obviously some very deliberate media releases coming out from China, and they've been able to penetrate Telegram groups and things like that. So there's a perceived element of you know, media effect on the market. I'm not sure if it's totally true, because there's something else I've noticed, and I did mention again in previous videos, is that there is a group that is moving, and I've watched it probably 4 times in the last month, is moving 10, you know, so I'm just giving a bit of an estimate on this amount of money, but it's around about $10 billion. And when this news is released, it seems to coincide with an instantaneous removal, or in a 1 hour period, of this, a $10 billion move out of the market. And at the same time, certain other cryptocurrencies are also having their SAT value reduced pretty much at the same time. So there's a bit of inside trading going on, absolutely no doubt, a little bit of manipulation, and I think that's hidden amongst some of this media. And I think we've just got to just remember that that's part of the parcel of being part of a new sector like this, so we're still under the influence of big money. Now, global charts, I always like looking at this, and I suggest other people you can get this off CoinMarketCap, and you can look at the entire market capitalization, which is the top one here, and the one underneath it is the total market capitalization excluding Bitcoin. Now, at the moment, they look very similar in the sense that, but I've actually adjusted the time frame on this second one here just to expand out on these two big shark teeth. And you know, we've got a very even amount of money coming in, which is pushed up. Then we had a retracement, and it was pushed up, then a retracement. This one seems to be a very short, maybe a short-lived bear run, and I'm hoping that and we see a change and move back into the bull run. But that's why we've had all of this news. They're trying to slow it down, and that's what I truly believe. And it's also because they want to get in. We saw Demon from JP Morgan. He's now under pressure because a couple of regulatory bodies do believe that he's been using the market to influence, or using negative news to influence markets. So he might be in a little bit of trouble, but knowing how the big boys play, you probably just get a slap on the wrist and then they move on. But what we're looking at here is, I've always said, you know, a very simple guide. This is not without any super duper mathematics, is that whenever you get a major influx of capital like this first shark tooth, a 50% retrace as a guide is not a bad way of viewing the time frame before it actually moves into the next bull run at the moment. And I've sort of looked at previous movements in the cryptocurrency market. Back in 2016, there were some similar movements like this. Not as big, of course, they were only around about $5 billion movements, but they had a very similar feel. And even over the last couple of months, I've watched the pumps and dumps. A lot of them are retracing to 50%. I'm not talking about the really aggressive ones, because a lot of those come right back to zero, or the starting point where they came from. But you know, we're at this second shark tooth here. You can sort of see it's starting to come back. We might have another week of retracement. Who knows? I mean, this is all speculation. But there's no doubt we're going to see another influx of major money come back in at some stage. But we may see some more regular manipulations. You know, this $10 billion I was talking about moving in and out, which is taking $200 or $300 off the price of Bitcoin almost instantaneously over an hour or a couple of hours, and then you'll obviously see market influences after that, because people do sell off or stop losses are triggered, and there's also a little bit of panic selling and all the emotion that's behind these markets. So that's all I was going to just say there. You know, we're looking at a retracement, which means a greater opportunity for us to buy. Hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of the week we might see it swing back, but who knows, who knows. What else have I got here? This is just a little close-up. Why did I do this? I just wanted to have a look. It's going horizontal since we had that big China FUD, and it came down under the 100 billion for the entire total market cap. And it's gone pretty much horizontal, even though it looks like it's been going up very aggressively and down. It's been swinging 20 or 30%, almost in a 24-hour period. However, at the moment, I like the look of this. This is what we sort of want to do. See is a lot of rebounds, and we want to see a lot of strength. And if it's going horizontal for a period of time, I think that does expand people's confidence in the market. Mr. Demand. I don't like really giving this guy too much airtime, but where's he come from? I mean, all of a sudden he's on the front page of all, CoinDesk and Cointelegraph, so it's all very, very deliberate. He's obviously put his hand up and said, yeah, I'll go out there and slash and smash Bitcoin, even though he's buying up and getting involved in his own ways. And he's also been trying to push forward a patent for a Bitcoin alternative. Now, a lot of people don't realise that that's the hidden agenda here. Here he is telling everyone to get out of cryptos and it's no good and it's a fraud. And in the background, he's invested in the technology and trying to bring out his own. So there's obviously, I just don't like these people. They're so used to lying and deceiving and manipulating that it's just part of who they are as people. So the best thing to do, is my philosophy, is you just don't trust them. Always listen to what they've got to say and then look. Sometimes the complete opposite. If they say something's not very good, most often or not, it's time to get in. I mean, these guys always slaughter gold and silver and these type of things, even though they are manipulated markets. It's one of those things that always holds store of value. And if you actually have a look at gold, I think it's, as an average, it's around about between 8 and 10% gain every year as an average. And when you look at the stock market, compare it to stock market and even other investments, that's pretty good, considering you see the stock market go through cycles, and gold just seems to keep plodding along. But all they do is say, oh, don't buy it, don't buy it. Gold's too heavy. What do you need that for? But I think everyone should be getting involved in crypto, Bitcoin, gold, silver, buy some land, and enjoy your life. What's next? Former CFTC. Regulation would solve Bitcoin volatility. Look, there's no doubt we've got a bit of volatility, and I sort of get that, but we also don't want the bankers moving $10 billion in and out of the market over a 2-hour period and crashing it very, very quickly over a day, because that's where we see the volatility. But the end of the day, I don't really think it matters too much. I think most of us, and probably a lot of my listeners, are in this for the long term. There's no doubt there's some day traders. That's just not my thing. I've done a bit of day trading only to improve my position, but I'm not living off day trading to pay my bills. So at the moment, I see Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency assets as speculative assets, that you're investing in technology and you're investing in the future. There's no doubt the currencies-based blockchains are definitely, I believe, are going to move forward with strength, and I think they're more highly likely to get adopted on a mass scale. Some of these smaller blockchains offering a particular niche market may pick up major parts of the market, no doubt. They might, and I have said this before, certain areas across the world, or particular countries may some particular cryptos may do better in certain areas than others, just based on the economics or the ecosystem that they find themselves within. So from an investment point of view, I think we've got to start looking at what's going to be the strongest cryptocurrency assets within the next 2-3 years. What's going to push through and be adopted on a mass scale, because that's where the most return will be in regards to your investment. Then you've got to look secondary. What are the blockchains that are going to provide the greatest value and service to us as people? I mean, if you go back to the .com and you look at Amazon, eBay, what was another one? PayPal. That, at the time they would have copped a lot of shit. A lot of people would have said, they're not going to last 6 weeks, and you hear that all the time about businesses. And you go 17 years on, Amazon's one of the biggest, and so is PayPal and eBay. Look at them now. I think Amazon, I did read, was their shares was something like $50 in 2009, and in 2017 something like 800 US for a share. So they've done pretty well, and I think that's what we're going to look for in regards to blockchain. So I think the other thing in regards to volatility in Bitcoin is the more broadly adopted. Now, there's only 21 million coins, and I think the problem I see with Bitcoin at the moment is that some big boys can hold a greater share of Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's being used by a lot of people to buy altcoins, and it's being traded left and right. So there's probably less focus on actually holding it. It's being used more of as a gateway for other opportunities like buying altcoins. So people are letting Bitcoin go out of their wallets, and I've even done that. But I've made a new focus in the last couple of months to make sure that I keep stacking my Bitcoin. And I think that's the big thing that we've got to remember. Volatility can be affected by the centralization of decentralized cryptocurrencies by ownership. So if you buy up as large portions of the available crypto asset, or the coins or the tokens, you can actually control some of the market movements, and they sort of become centralized in that way. And I think there's influences in mining pools and all sorts of stuff that we've got to probably be talking about a little bit more often, because the big boys know what to do, and that is that they will start cracking down on those type of things. They'll crash the market, buy up as much as they can, get in with all the miners, and try to centralize the decentralized aspects as much as they can. What else have I got? Another thing, this is a tip I want to share, and anyone that's been in crypto space probably would have come across this. Now, I had a bit of a speculator with transfer coin way back, and it actually did quite well. And this is not financial advice. I'm saying go and buy transfer coin, but the reality is, with this crypto space, the wallets do get upgraded, and the wallets that have gone out of date sometimes stop working, or there's issues with the blockchain, and they don't quite sync, or there's delays. And a lot of the time you don't actually know this unless you go into a group and find out. So I've probably had 2 or 3 wallets where I've had issues. PIVX, transfer coin, I had an issue with coin for a while, and I didn't know that I had to go and upgrade the wallet to get it back working. And even when you go to the website, I mean, the thing is, you've got to remember, with a lot of these decentralized crypto assets, there's no team involved in regards to communication. You're not getting emails saying, hey, you need to upgrade your wallet. So what you've got to do is you've got to go onto GitHub, make sure if you've got your favorite wallets, go in, have a look at the work that's being done, go to the release pages, like I've got here, for example, the transfer coin, and I fixed my wallet the other day because I downloaded the new release the wallet, and they're all there available, and you can see the new information that you may need to apply to make your wallets work, or just other little scoops of information that you get from Telegram. And that was a real big one for me, is making sure that you do that. So that's just a quick tip. Make sure you upgrade your wallets. The other one was Neo, actually. When Ant shares converted to Neo, I had money in my AntShares wallet, and then I went overseas and I panicked when I went to Neo, and I came back and the AntShares wallet wasn't working. I had 18 coins missing. Wasn't a lot of money at the time, but I just thought, oh, where are they? It wouldn't sync, and then I had to go. It wasn't written on the website. I had to go into like a Bitcoin talk or find a particular blog to realise that they'd updated the wallets. And then I updated the wallet, and then 2 weeks later, the wallet that I updated actually went out of date, and I didn't know because, again, I didn't get an email or anything like that. And there was nothing on the website. I had to go and find out because I just, especially with Neo, my balance wasn't showing, and I looked like I had no coins. So, it's one of those moments where your heart sinks and goes, where's my money gone? So that's the other tip. Yeah, stay in touch with the tokens that you're invested in. Just remember, you need to respect this market. It's an evolving market. There's gaps and issues in regards to communication, in regards to the particular tokens and the people who've got wallets. There's nothing connecting us. So you are your own bank. So you've got to take responsibility to look after and water the garden, as they say. What else did I have? I've just got all my blogs on my onlinecoachingaustralia.com.au. It's a website that I started out of the blue, and I was going to have lots of programs and things on there. At the moment, it's sort of building up with some blogs in regards to, I suppose, energy, universe. I'm right into pyramid technology. I'm going to Egypt and Russia next year to study energy sciences and trying to bring a lot of that knowledge back to Australia here, and getting the people in my community to acknowledge the connection between I suppose the Earth, the universe, and ourselves, and how that all corresponds to our existence. I know it sounds a bit deep, but I think we're forgetting that we are part of a symphony, or the universe is pretty much perfect, and we get caught up in money and cryptocurrencies and having nice things and all the media and stuff like that. I think we've got to remember to take our shoes off and connect with the planet. That's all I was going to say. But if you're interested in some of my writings, I do have a video blog here, but I've also got, which is cryptocurrency. So if you miss one, I mean, you can always go onto my YouTube, and I get that. But I've got other blogs on the homepage if you're interested in some light reading and maybe some stuff out of left field. What else? My Sebastian Jago page, I've been updating that as I go along. And I'm going to keep this, I'm going to probably end that here. I'm just going to check my list here. I've got 2 more videos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover, I've just bought a mining kit, and I'm going to run through that with you, and I've bought a whole heap of gear here, and I'm going to run through that with you in a video separate. I'm also going to run through some stuff about centralized decentralization. I'm also going to do a video on PayPal. I have got it here, and I've had another email from another listener who wants me to do it, so I will do it very shortly. So I'm going to leave that video where it is. Thanks for listening. Let me know what you think about that, and stay tuned for my next video, and thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.